Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It's your guy, Boulanger. Up next in this video, we're going to be having the conversation about 3 moves the Baltimore Ravens should pull off to communicate to the world we're in win now, Super Bowl contention mode. 3 moves the Baltimore Ravens should pull off to say that, look, we're all in. Let's go. So when we look at the current roster, the defense is mostly set, but there's, I believe, 2 big holes, both at cornerback and edge. And then offensively, I think that there is 2 big holes at left guard and at wide receiver. And I'll go deeper into that when we get to offense. But let's go defense first. Okay. I personally think one move the Baltimore Ravens should pull off pre-draft is signing cornerback Rock Ya-Sin. Okay. I understand that this is a deep cornerback class. It probably goes good quality corners. It probably goes 10 deep, who could be plug and play guys or first year impact guys. But if we're going to be in Super Bowl contention, I don't want to leave the cornerback spot in the hands of a rookie. Although there is certainly some talented rookies coming up in this draft, I don't want to leave that to them. There is no Sauce Gardner in this year's draft. It just isn't. Okay. So I think signing Rock Ya-Sin, who is the best corner available, who was rated in the top 3 of corners available in this off season. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, and he seems to be mostly in the right place at the right time. Now, he's not a big interception guy, but he does bat a lot of balls away, and he does eliminate with good coverage that wide receiver to his side of the field. And so I think plugging him in, go ahead and get him signed and plugging him in fills that hole at cornerback, which means we don't definitely have to go cornerback in the first round. You know, in another video, I talked about how I think it's cornerback or wide receiver. And with signing Odell Beckham, it probably leans more in the direction of going corner. But I think signing Rock Ya-Sin pre-draft closes that hole at cornerback, which then allows us to go more of a best player available concept. Okay. And then, so then we move to edge rush. Okay. I think the Baltimore Ravens should go after Leonard Floyd. I think that he's the most productive guy available right now. He's a little more athletic than Justin Houston or JPP, who we had on the team last year. And I think that he would bring a veteran presence to the Baltimore Ravens. You know, he's played with good talent before. He's never really been a me guy. So I think that he would be a good addition to that defensive front or edge rush position. And I think that we can get him for a reasonable price. I think we can get both him and Rock Ya-Sin for a reasonable price because it is basically late in the free agents market. And so I think that we could get both of them for a more than reasonable price. Leonard, we probably could get him for 2 or 3 years at about $7-8 million per year for a quality edge rusher. So maybe 3 years, 20 million, 2 years, 15 million, something like that. Get him a good signing bonus, bring that number, that cap number down so that we still have room to do some other things. I think we can certainly get Leonard. And then if I jump back to do Rock Ya-Sin, because it is late in the free agency market, I think we could do something like a 3-year, 21 million. That brings him in at $7 million a year, and get him a signing bonus to also bring his cap number down significantly. I think we can get both of those, and I think our defense is set. And there's nothing better than having your defense set going into the draft, because now you don't have to look at cornerback specifically. I don't think they were going edge in the first place because they got so much draft capital invested into the edge position right now, but that sets the defense. Okay. And so now when we turn our attention to offense, glaring hole at left guard. I know that Ben Cleveland is there, but Ben Cleveland has not shown yet the ability to get on the field, whether that's because of health or ability or competitiveness. I don't know what Ben Cleveland's issue has been, but he's a big, strong, powerful guy. He certainly could fill that role, especially as a great run blocker, but he just hasn't been able to do that. So I think that certainly is a hole there. I don't think we should fill that with a free agent. I think you could fill that role adequately with a, third or fourth round pick, coach him up real good, especially being beside a veteran like Ronnie Stanley and a really smart guy in Tyler Lindenbaum. I think that will serve a rookie well at that position. And then the other hole offensively would be at the wide receiver position. I know we signed Odell Beckham, but I still say that there's a hole at wide receiver because all of the guys at the wide receiver positions right now, Beckham, Bateman, Duvernay, Prochet, and Wallace all spent time on IR last year. Okay. And so I'm not going to be super excited about going into the season without more depth at that position. And so I think the move that should be made is they should trade for DeAndre Hopkins. So let me be clear. I did make a take that they should stay away from Odell and DeAndre, but that was pre-free agency, right? That free agency hadn't started yet. And I was under the impression that they would go after a Jacoby Myers, that they would go after an Alan Lazard, a DJ Sharp, guys who were available. But since that didn't happen, we did sign Odell. And I think at this point, we should go after DeAndre Hopkins, not because he hasn't had some injury history, but just because it would give us another number one type. So that way, when we field a wide receiving corps that would consist of DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, and also Rashad Bateman, we field a receiving corps that has three number one types, not three number one receivers, but types, meaning they have the skill set and the type of mentality to be number one receivers. And so DeAndre on the outside, Bateman on the outside, and Odell in the slot. That would be a nice receiving corps. Okay, so what would that look like? What would that deal look like? I believe that the move should be Duvernay and a fourth round pick for Hopkins. And I know a lot of people like Duvernay. I like Duvernay. I think he has a dynamic skill set, and I think he could be used even more in a Todd Monken system. But if I'm going all in, and that's what this video is about, how to force open the Super Bowl window, I sacrifice Duvernay for DeAndre Hopkins. I think Duvernay and a fourth round pick could bring in DeAndre Hopkins. And then that way, when we put that corpse on the field, nobody has to be the guy every Sunday. They could take turns, but and then at that point, it will be plenty of passes to go around, plus Mark Andrews at the tight end position. That would be a receiving corpse that would be scary for sure. And so you bring DeAndre Hopkins in, and redo his deal. Rework his deal to where you bring his cap number down. He's already on a contract for 2024, so you have him for at least 2 years. And then that way, that Super Bowl window stays open, because not only would you have Hopkins already under contract for 2024, you would already have Bateman under contract for 2024. You would definitely go rookie in the draft at some point. That would be Duvernay's replacement. That guy will be under contract, and you probably at some point are going to move on from Wallace or Prochet. I think they keep one or the other, but I think they're going to move on from one of those guys. And so those are the three moves. Trade for DeAndre Hopkins, even if you have to sacrifice Duvernay. Sign Rock Ya-Sin pre-draft and sign Leonard Floyd. It doesn't matter to me whether it's pre-draft or shortly after the draft is over, but get him under contract. And I think those three moves solidify us offensively and defensively. And then when we look towards the draft, now you take the number 22 pick and you trade back, because we understand that you would sacrifice a pick for DeAndre Hopkins, which means you would take 5 picks and it would become 4. Okay. And EDC has already said that he wanted more picks, or he would like to have more picks. So you take number 22, trade back. You may trade back twice, but at least trade back once. Uh, Maybe pick up the pick that you gave away for DeAndre Hopkins. If you trade back again, maybe pick up an extra pick. But I think at that point, instead of going best player available at number 22, you trade back, you go best player available, maybe at number 27 or number 28, somewhere in there. And so, because I think you can do that because all of your positional needs are filled except for left guard. But I certainly think picking up an extra pick will allow you to fill in that left guard position. Now you could go best player available at maybe 27, 28, somewhere in there, and you could take whatever you needed, whoever was on the board that was best player available at that point, whether it was an edge or corner. And I think they would still probably go corner, best corner available, because you still need some depth built into those positions, because you would just have Humphrey, Rock, uh, Pepe, JAD from last year, and I think Daryl Worley is back also. And so you would still need some young depth there as well. So I think they could still trade back and take the best corner available while picking up some extra compensation, which would allow them to fill that left guard position. Um, they may even consider taking a running back later on in the draft. They may even consider taking a defensive tackle, since they would have lost Calais Campbell in the draft. But again, the goal of these moves would put a veteran in those positions of need, and then allow you to go best player available, which builds depth at all the positions that would be a need, or that positions that need depth, which would be wide receiver, cornerback, edge rusher, left guard position, that kind of thing. And so I think those three moves would say contender, because when we put that defense on the field, it's solid from front to back. We put that offense on the field, it's solid inside and out. And then you would have drafted good depth pieces in case of injury, things of that nature. And of course, as we understand, all of this is with the assumption that Lamar Jackson would be in-house. And as I told you in the first video from this morning, is that, if Lamar Jackson really gave them an ultimatum to get Beckham and DeAndre Hopkins, if they made this move, that's more likely that Lamar is coming back to the Ravens. And so if we put that team on the field, oh my goodness, I don't know how we're stopped offensively other than injury. And I don't know how people move up and down the field on us defensively. So that's my take, man. Let me know what you guys want me to know. Include your moves. Include moves that you would make to fill those holes, and let it scream out that we are contenders for the 2023 season. On the way out the door, let me give you a couple of updates. Be on the lookout, man, for invitations to the panel. Again, the panel is the a collective where it's me and four of you talking ball. Be on the lookout for the live interaction, where we get into a Zoom type platform and we discuss ball, Baltimore and the NFL as a whole, share our ideas, share our thinking, share our perspectives in a live context. And then also keep in mind that questions for subs, or questions from the sub, or questions to the GM, however you want to put it, where we are, you know, answering questions that you guys may have or responding to comments that you guys may have. So there'll be a little contact information dropped in the description section, questions for the GM. Send those emails to me directly. You don't have to do the video thing. We'll just make it easy, nice and easy. Send them directly to me and I'll get those things answered. So listen, I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you want me to know about the content, man. Again, include your moves that you would make to say we're all in Super Bowl contender. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM and I'm out.